boy, James Harden. Aiming at your boy.
What's good with your team, Tommy? Today we got the history of soccer legends coming to America. Now we know here in America, we got great burgers. The Italians gonna get a little upset about this, but we got great pizza. I can't lie, I don't know if so like me growing up and eating the pizza that we have here, if I was to go to Italy, one, I probably wouldn't even be welcome. I know they're a little racist out there, but like, if I was to eat the pizza that they have out there, I mean, granted, it probably tastes good, but the way that I like see it made, it's kind of like, damn, like me personally, bro, I like a lot of cheese on my pizza, bro. And sometimes they don't really put that much cheese, but granted, at the same time, I've never tried their pizza sauce, so like maybe their pizza sauce like makes up for it. But I also know that they eat their pizza with a fork. I definitely eat it with my hands. Yeah, besides the point. Bro, it's crazy to me, and I can tell you guys why. Dude, every sport, America's low-key like, if we're not the best, we're top 3 for sure. Track and field, obviously American football, we're gonna be number 1. There's not too many. I know people in other countries are starting to get football, but was about golf, boxing, wrestling. Now I can't lie, Russia's starting to be Russia low-key is starting to get Russia low-key might be number 1 in wrestling. But I mean, the list goes on. I could keep naming sports, but one sport that we're not number 1 in, and we're actually kind of like, I don't want to say we suck, but we really do kind of suck, is football, European football, or soccer. And it's crazy to me because we have some of the best athletes in the world, but at the same time, bro, like when I was growing up as a kid, I know I've already told you guys the story before, but bro, my mom didn't even let me play soccer or baseball, bro. So like, I think it's a thing with Americans. They're like, you either play like American football or you play basketball off rip. They don't let people just plug it. Now, granted, if you beg and you beg and you beg, or if you're, I can't lie, foreigners know the significance of soccer / football. So like, they allow their kids to play. But like, let's say you're growing up in the inner city, bro, parents do not just let their kids play soccer, bro. And it's actually crazy to me because there's more. Okay, so money wise, I would say now if you get signed to the Saudi league, definitely soccer. But it goes baseball, basketball, soccer / football, and then American football, bro. So like, I don't understand why you wouldn't want your kid to play one of those sports. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's my thoughts, Team Tommy. But let's learn about some legends that came to America and tasted their burger for the first time.
So by now, you've heard the news. Messi, the greatest footballer in history.
I know you guys heard his voice. Yeah, we got a fat Asian video again. I forgot to give him a shout out in the beginning.
The greatest sportsman in history is now saying deuces to PSG after 2 years and has decided to take his talents to South Beach. A sensational move, considering the alternatives was a return to his beloved Barcelona or receiving Scrooge McDuck money from the Saudis. This man could have been worshipped as a god.
What do you guys think best hairstyle with Messi is? I can't lie, I don't really care because he was on the pitch saying negro, negro, negro. But like, I think blonde Messi, because like the spiky hair that they just showed, bro, ooh, that's a bad haircut. He had another haircut before, bro, that just looked crazy. I can't lie, but like, times change.
In Spain, or chauffeured around in a golden-plated Rolls-Royce.
That's crazy.
Riyadh. But instead, he's driving himself around Miami and picking up groceries at the local Publix. Which kudos to him. That's honestly the most authentic.
That's a cool
American
basic
experience
haircut.
you can get. Respect. But Messi would not be the first soccer great that would grace our shores with the hopes of redefining soccer to a country who for so long has seen the world's game as a joke. In fact, there's been a laundry list of all-time greats who played in the American leagues dating back all the way to the 1970s. But I believe, when you really boil it down, there were 3 seismic spikes when it comes to America's interest in soccer, and they were created by 3 major imports. Sexy underwear model David Beckham, the OG GOAT,
yes, bro. For the longest, bro, the only reason I even knew anything at all about soccer or football is because of David Beckham, bro. He is the whole reason I even like knew what a soccer ball was. I swear. And same thing with NASCAR, but like Jeff Gordon, bro. He was the only reason I was like, okay,
Lucky Charms
okay,
enthusiast
soccer's it.
Lionel Messi.
Soccer's a
And
cool
what's wild
sport.
is you can trace a domino effect leading all the way back to when Pele first decided to come to America in the 1970s, which would then pave the path for Sexy Bexy to join the MLS decade later, which unfortunately
beautiful.
at the time would be crucial to luring Lionel Messi to the States. Stay with me, I'll explain, but first, I have to take you back to 1975, when the New York Cosmos pulled off maybe the greatest transfer coup of the millennia, when they announced Brazilian great Pele.
I did not know
would be
Pele
coming
came here.
to America. Now, it wasn't easy getting Pele over to the States. At this point in his career, he had already retired, having led his country to 3 World Cup titles and having won everything with Santos in Brazil. But apparently, the pitch that changed Pele's mind was he was told that if he went to Real or AC Milan, all he could do was win another championship. But if he came to America, he could win over a nation. They saw him as a soccer missionary that would revolutionize the sport in the eyes of Americans. The goal? To make soccer as big in America as it was in Europe and South America. And bringing the GOAT over would certainly draw up interest. It also didn't hurt that they offered him a $2 million contract, an astronomical amount at the time. For comparison, the top U.S. athlete was baseball player Hank Aaron, and he was getting paid a measly $200K a year. Not only was it a good chunk of change, Pele was also financially hurting at the time because of a few business.
We can look this up easy, Team Tommy. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. They said he got paid $2 million. Doesn't take that long, chat. Let's go. Do your calculations. You're an AI bot. You should be able to do it in 0.2 seconds. $11 million, but I guess people weren't really getting paid like that for sports back then.
His ventures that went south in Brazil, and his 3-year contract with New York would see him earn more in those 3 years than he had earned the entirety of his time in Brazil. And to ensure that the Brazilian was paying the smallest amount of tax, the Cosmos drew up some wacky contracts, including one which he signed where he was listed as a recording artist. Gotta love tax loopholes, baby. And then there was the allure of American culture. All the famous movie stars and musicians that he would constantly be rubbing elbows with at the famed Studio 54 nightclub. For younger viewers, Studio 54 is this legendary New York nightclub renowned
Oh, so he
for
came here to
sex,
party.
drugs, and all forms of debauchery, with only the most beautiful and famous people in New York getting in. Its guest list was so exclusive that a man once tried to sneak in through an air vent, got stuck, and died. And during his 3-year stay, Pele and his teammates were reportedly regulars at this notorious New York night spot. But even with Pele tempted by the glitz and glam of the Big Apple, Brazil was not yet ready to let their favorite son go. In fact, the Brazilian government went as far as deeming Pele a national treasure and forbid him from leaving his homeland. It took famed political negotiator and Nobel Peace Prize winner Henry Kissinger to persuade the Brazilian government that Pele playing in America would actually be beneficial for both countries. Can you imagine having the guy who negotiated the end of the Vietnam War has to talk to your president in order to let you play in New York? Shit was wild in the 70s. Now, you also might be asking,
No, that's
who the
kinda
fuck are
crazy,
the
I
New
can't
York
lie.
Cosmos? Because I've never heard of this MLS team. Well, that's because they weren't in the MLS. They were part of the now defunct National American Soccer League, also known as NASL. But it looks like nasal. I mean, come on, guys. This is awful marketing. And before Pele, nasal was struggling. In fact, soccer as a whole in this country was seen as a foreigner's game. One sports writer went as far as to write, and I quote, "Soccer is a game for commies and fairies in short pants." Once again, 70s was wild in America. So how much did Pele coming over change public interest in
I mean,
this
people
sport?
act the same today.
Today it still is not nearly as popular of a sport as it is in South America and Europe, but Pele did create a huge draw everywhere he went. In fact, during his first public appearance in Boston, it was so crazy that Pele got injured by a group of fans and had to be evacuated from the venue via a stretcher. And although he was well past his prime, Pele did succeed in drastically raising awareness of soccer, regularly drawing in huge crowds of up to 80,000 people, selling out NFL stadiums. Every city, every town that he visited, it would be a sold-out crowd, and he'd be the sports story of the week. While the front pages of the New York Times were dominated by Son of Sam killings and corruption charges, the back pages would be
There were a good
reserved
amount
for
of
the
mobs here in America
and
back
in fact,
then.
Going to a Cosmo game became the trendy thing to do in New York at the time. But it didn't translate to instant success on the pitch. In fact, the New York Cosmos were kind of trash before Pele got there. In fact, they didn't even make the playoffs in his first season. And yes, American soccer leagues have playoffs. I know it's weird for my European viewers, but hey, they also have penalty shootouts like this. Which, I mean, come on. You wouldn't want penalty shootouts to look like this? Playoffs, I don't know. But shootouts, come on. Back to the Cosmos. Their supporting cast wasn't great around Pele at first. Because here's the thing. The allure of playing with the GOAT tends to attract some great players to his side. And soon they came. Lazio legend Giorgio Chinaglia would sign for the Cosmos in his prime and would actually go down as the New York Cosmos all-time goal scorer. Then Pele's old Brazilian
In his
teammate
prime?
and World Cup winning captain Carlos Alberto
Really?
soon joined after, followed by the signing of fellow World Cup winner Franz Beckenbauer. Pele said of the Cosmos, "When I signed with the Cosmos were almost a university team. Later on, we became the best team almost in the world. After we got some excellent players, then the Cosmos became number one." And with their roster transformed into the American Galacticos, Pele, in his third and final season, would lead his team finally into the Soccer Bowl, where in front of a capacity nearly 80,000 crowd, he would score a hat trick in the quarterfinals and then lead his team to a 2-1 victory over the Seattle Sounders to capture the 1977 Nassau Championship. During his final match, in which he played the first half with his Brazilian side Santos and then the second half with the New York Cosmos, he sold out Giant Stadium again, which included the star-studded likes of Muhammad Ali, Henry Kissinger,
That's
Steven
lit.
Spielberg, Barbra Streisand, and even the president's son, who after the game would read off a personal letter written by the president of the United States thanking Pele for elevating soccer to heights never before seen in the United States. Pele's time in America would also pave the way for other soccer legends to join Nassau. Iconic names like George Best, Gerd Muller, Bobby Moore,
Really?
Eusebio, Johan Cruyff. Basically any player who had an old FIFA Legends card, yeah, they probably donned a nasal kit during the twilights of their careers. But sadly, it wouldn't be enough, because after Pele's retirement, attendance and interest in the league would nosedive. And when combined with the economic recession of the 1980s, Nassau would close up shop in 1984. And this could easily have been
Wow.
the death knell for soccer in America. But a stroke of luck would reignite interest in the game in 1988, when FIFA would announce that the United States of America would host the 1994 World Cup. Pele had demonstrated that soccer could be a big enough draw in America.
I'm
if
pretty
given
sure
the
we're
right
hosting the
conditions.
World Cup in 2026.
Was correct, as the 1994 World Cup
kinda
was a
dead.
surprise smash success in the States.
We're
In
not
fact,
good
it
enough.
still holds multiple records to this day for the largest attendances of any World Cup in history. The opening ceremony
Wow.
was emceed by Oprah, attended by then President Bill
Oprah
Clinton,
sang.
and featured a performance by legendary recording artist Diana Ross, where she was supposed to kick a ball into an exploding goal, but missed it completely, only for the goal to explode anyway. Amazing. The USA versus Brazil match was watched by over 11 million Americans on television. And here's the thing that isn't commonly known, but in exchange for hosting the World Cup in '94, the United States promised FIFA that they would develop a Division I soccer league. That league, as you probably have guessed it, was the MLS. And carried by the buzz of the 1994 World Cup, the MLS experienced a relatively successful first season. But after that, it kind of went to shit. Interest and attendance would take a sharp decline, and during its first 5 years, the MLS lost a reported $250 million. And that total would balloon to more than $340 million between its founding in 1993 to 2004. It was hemorrhaging money out their butthole. And if nothing changed, it was looking like the MLS would go the same way as Nassau. The league needed a miracle, which they would receive in the form of a sexy British underwear model. As the next cosmic shift when it came to American interest in soccer was the blockbuster arrival of David Beckham to the LA Galaxy.
I was about to say, I knew he came here for Cali.
Past his prime, but was easily the most recognizable soccer player in America at the time. And to prime away from Real Madrid, where he was earning $20 million a year, to go to a salary cap league where he'd only be paid $6.5 million a year.
Really?
It was quite the coup. Now, If you dive a little bit deeper in the contract, you'll come to find out that he actually was getting a percentage cut of all club revenue. That means from jersey sales to ticket sales to TV deals, all the way down to the hot dog that was sold to you at the stadium. Sexy Bexy got his veto on all of it. And the second important clause was upon his retirement, he was allowed to purchase an MLS expansion team for the flat fee of only $25 million. Remember that clause for later. So with the revenue sharing and the sponsorship deals, Beckham's contract would balloon from $6.5 million to more around the $50 million range, which easily doubled what he was making over at Real Madrid. And beyond the financial incentives, Beckham was pitched the same vision as Pele. Yes, he could have stayed at Real or gone to another European giant, but all he could do was win another trophy. Or he could come to America and win over a nation.
Oh, he did. He definitely did. Definitely did.
The prospects of living in Beverly Hills and rubbing elbows with Hollywood movie stars probably made the wifey happy. So when David Beckham announced that he would be coming to America, it not only brought renewed interest and legitimacy to the MLS, it was a Hollywood bonanza. I mean, the man was inescapable on TV leading up to his debut. It made national news, and his wife, Victoria Beckham, actually got her own reality TV special on NBC, which was received horribly. But still, his debut was attended by a star-studded crowd that featured the likes of Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes, Will Smith, and the then governor at the time, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He didn't even start. He was nursing an ankle injury at the time, so the broadcast had a picture-in-picture of him called Beckham Cam. He didn't even come on until the 77th minute. As for his performances on the pitch, David Beckham's first 2 seasons were as shit as his wife's reality TV show. The reason was he was hurt all the time. From 2007 to 2009, he played less than half of the LA Galaxy's matches. He missed so many games that rival fans hung a banner saying "Bench it like Beckham." Cute. And then he was criticized by Galaxy fans and allegedly butted heads with teammate Landon Donovan over his commitment to the team because he took multiple loan spells with AC Milan during the MLS's offseason, where in 2010, while on loan, he would snap his Achilles tendon. He made a missed time in the MLS, but actually was the cause for him missing his final World Cup. Heartbreaking. 3 years in, it seemed like Beckham's Hollywood experiment had become a horror movie. But as it was with Beckham in most of his career, redemption was always written into the third act. As in 2011 and 2012, Beckham would lead an LA Galaxy team featuring the likes of American legend Landon Donovan and all-time Irish goal scorer Robbie Keane to back-to-back MLS titles. It was glorious. Vindication for all those years, fighting through the injuries and silencing his most harsh critics. It had taken him a while, but David Beckham had gotten a storybook ending in Los Angeles. Now in totality, we look back on David Beckham's time in the MLS, it was a mixed bag. Ultimately, he didn't revolutionize soccer in America to the levels of the NFL, NBA, MLB, or even the NHL, but he definitely gave the MLS a level up. Now, it was kind of promised that he was going to take the MLS from Charmander to Charizard. And what we had to settle with was Charmeleon.
I was just about to say that, in facts.
When he did, a couple of them were bangers, and started the trend of expensive European imports scoring worldies from the halfway line in the MLS. Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about later. Undoubtedly, David Beckham elevated the legitimacy and status of the MLS for the rest of the world, upping the standards of the league from the stadiums to the salaries to the quality of food players would receive. All this happened because of Beckham, and set the table for many more legends to come to America after he left. Ballon d'Or winners, Champions League winners, and World Cup winners would follow in Beckham's footsteps. In fact, how about a guy who won all 3? Brazilian legend Kaká, one of the greatest attacking midfielders in history. One of the few players in history to win a World Cup, Champions League.
I just did not know he came over here.
For Orlando FC. And during his 3 seasons there, they sucked dick. Which wasn't his fault. Just the team was a new expansion team. They were awful. But Kaká was fantastic. Showed very well for himself. Got a bunch of assists. Got a bunch of goals. And I mean, just watch some of these bangers. Chelsea legend and Nobel Peace Prize winner Didier
Drogba, really?
Came over for 2 seasons and played for the Montreal Impact, scoring 21 goals in 33 matches. And then there was David Villa.
Montreal's Canada.
Sister club, New York City FC's first signing, and what a signing it was, as he would go down as one of the greatest imports the MLS has ever seen. The World Cup, Euro, La Liga, and Champions League winner would bag 80 goals during his 124 appearances for New York, and continued the tradition of European legends scoring from the halfway line in the MLS. In fact, frankly, his highlight reel time in the MLS is ridiculous. He was scoring for fun. A not-so-good import, though, was World Cup winner and multi-time Serie A winner Andres Pirlo, who was bought by New York City FC, and he just looked like he didn't give a shit. I mean, he got a couple of nice assists here and there, but most of the time he just looked disinterested and disengaged. He really treated the league like a retirement league. And another New York FC signing, Frank Lampard, came with a bit of controversy.
Lampard
At first,
came.
It was announced that he was signing for New York FC before the
No
parent club
diddy.
Man City reverse Uno'd and kept Frank in England for what was first announced as a short-term loan, which was then extended to a full-season loan, which meant that Frank would miss the first half of the MLS season. And a lot of people bought season tickets expecting Frank. They didn't get Frank, and they were pissed. Over 300 people ended up asking for the season ticket refunds and accused the club of false advertising. But when he eventually did make his way to New York, he had an okay MLS career. He scored 15 goals and had 3 assists in 31 matches. Thierry Henry, one of the greatest strikers of all time, World Cup winner.
I did
one of the
not
Arsenal
know he
Invincibles,
came.
Would go ahead and sign for the New York
No
Red
diddy.
Bulls in 2010.
You guys call him
Now,
Henry
after
or
2 seasons
Henry?
with Barcelona, he once again was past his prime, but his MLS career was solid, scoring 10 plus goals in every season he played for a total of 51 goals and 42 assists in 122 appearances for the club. And even though he was past his athletic prime, his finishing was still world class. Man United's all-time goal scorer Wayne Rooney had an okay 2 years with DC United, scoring
Rooney?
23 goals and notching 14 assists.
So does everybody come here like
And
after?
yes, he was yet another notable European who scored yet another wonder goal from the halfway line. I don't know what they're putting in the water over there. And apparently he enjoyed his time in America enough, he would come back across the pond to coach the Chicago Fire, where as of this video, he is still the manager. Then there were the
Nice.
stars who followed David Beckham directly. Liverpool legend and Champions League winner Steven Gerrard was signed as the big name follower
Really?
upon Beckham's retirement. And at the age of 35, he was well past his prime. Yeah, after a mid-season that saw him bag 3 goals and 9 assists, he announced his retirement in 2016. So the next big star the LA Galaxy went after was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And Zlatan did Zlatan things in the MLS. When it was announced in 2018 that he would be signing for the Galaxy, he took out a full-page ad in the LA Times that simply read, "Dear Los Angeles, you're welcome." And he did not disappoint, as his first goal in the MLS was a wonder strike in a
Oh my
4-2
God.
comeback in the inaugural El Trafico versus crosstown rivals LAFC. And yes, you guessed it, it was pretty much from the halfway line. Honestly, his MLS goal compilation is ridiculous. The man put on a show for the 2 seasons stateside, scoring 52 goals in 56 appearances. And upon him leaving LA, he said, "Thank you, LA Galaxy, for making me feel alive again." To the Galaxy
Dude,
fans, you
He's a
want Zlatan.
dickhead, bro.
I gave you Zlatan. You're welcome. Now go back to watching baseball. But these moves all pale in comparison to Lionel Messi choosing to sign with Inter Miami. Now remember that
He hasn't
clause
been playing
allowed
that well.
David Beckham to purchase an expansion team for $25 million? Well, a recent valuation of an MLS expansion will put that price tag today at $500 million. This
Woo!
clause was not only a steal, but it also set off a chain of events that would lead Lionel Messi to joining the MLS nearly 20 years later. As after years and years of trying to find the right partners and a site to build a new stadium, David Beckham would finally launch Inter Miami in 2018. In a star-studded video of soccer players and friends of Beckham's congratulating him, one of those faces was one Lionel Messi, who mused in his message, "Who knows, maybe one day, in a couple of years, I'll give you a call." Little did we know how prophetic those words would come to be. But the true courtship really began in 2019 in a hotel room in Barcelona, when David Beckham and co-founder of Inter Miami, Jorge Mas, would meet Jorge Messi, Lionel Messi's father. Now, Papa Messi had revealed that Lionel had long held aspirations to play in America one day, and Beckham played a big role in that. They had seen what Beckham's arrival had done, and Messi enjoyed the idea of growing a sport in one of the biggest sports markets in the world. But this was merely an introduction. At the time, Messi was going through a tumultuous breakup with his beloved Barcelona that would see him exiled to Paris for 2 difficult years, where he was never fully embraced by the fans.
They were doo-doo.
And some could
They were
argue
doo-doo in
the feelings
PSG
were
though.
mutual. And while Beckham will get most of the credit for bringing Messi to Miami, it was really Jorge Mas who did most of the legwork. Mas was the one who kept in contact with Messi's father throughout the years, monitoring the situation at PSG, and got cozy enough with the fam that he was seen in Lionel Messi's luxury box at the World Cup. Messi would famously go on to win that World Cup final. And when he returned to PSG, where they saw an unfortunate early exit from the Champions League, the fans in Paris would turn against the Argentine. It became very obvious that the relationship
Nah, I can't lie though.
between him
PSG fans are weird.
just never was going to work. And so, at the
That's
end
coming
of
from a
the
Ronaldo
the
fan.
biggest story in the world would then turn to where was Lionel Messi going to play next? Now, many pegged a reunion with Barcelona as his most likely destination. Messi was still adored at the club, where he had won 10 La Liga titles and 4 Champions League trophies. And despite their financial issues, Barcelona had pulled off a miraculous turnaround this year, winning La Liga. But then there was the Saudi League, and they had just signed Ronaldo to a reported $230 million per year contract. And seeing as they had just bought the sport of golf and was
Dude, I definitely
reported
thought
the
Messi
details
was
of
going to
Qatar
go
hosting
to
World
the
Cup,
Middle East.
The prospect of landing Messi and having that Ronaldo versus Messi showdown at least twice a year would have been an insane boon to a league that had very little legitimacy before signing Ronaldo. And to lure the GOAT
That's
to the
facts.
desert once
Now
again,
they're
they
low-key a decent
reportedly
league.
offered Lionel Messi a package.
I mean, not every
that in
player is
total
good, but
would
like
have netted
they're
the
getting
Arsenal
heads to go there.
$1.6 billion during his time in Saudi Arabia. The man could have played for Al Hilal.
Imagine turning down $1 billion to come
At
here.
the same time. And then some people didn't discount the fact that he might just stay at PSG, who, might remind you, are owned by the Qataris. You know, the guys who bought the World Cup. They could offer up monopoly money themselves. Plus, he still had
Why would you
fulfilled
do
his
that?
promise of helping them win their first Champions League trophy. In fact,
My bad,
the year
Team Tom.
before Messi got there, PSG was in the finals. And the 2 subsequent years after Messi joined, they were bounced out of the round of 16 in back-to-back years. The rumor that he might join the MLS was frankly a pipe dream. You're going to tell me the GOAT is going to go join a last-place MLS team over going back to his beloved Barcelona or getting Elon Messi in Saudi Arabia, a country that already signed him to a deal to be their cultural ambassador? Why would he come to America? Why, indeed. While the full details of the contract are yet to be disclosed, Jorge Mas and MLS worked hard to put together a package worthy to entice the GOAT to the American shores. What was reportedly offered was similar in form to Beckham's contract so many years ago in the MLS, an equity stake in Inter Miami, a chance to buy an expansion team for a heavily discounted rate upon him leaving the MLS, revenue sharing with sponsors, specifically a percentage of all merchandise sold by league sponsor Adidas, who Messi has a lifetime contract with, and let's be honest, probably the biggest player in luring Lionel Messi over to America is Apple. Yes, the
Really,
richest corporation
Apple?
in America, who had recently partnered with the MLS to stream all their games
Did
on
not
a
know that, Tim
newish
Tommy.
Apple TV platform. And apparently these iPhone motherfuckers came in and offered Messi a cut of every new subscriber to their MLS package. And yes,
Damn.
it didn't hurt that. They're also the ones who are producing a Last Dance-esque miniseries documenting Lionel Messi's miraculous World Cup run in Qatar this past year. And I, for one, cannot wait. But those
So how much
were
money
just
is
the
he making?
financial incentives. You gotta remember, Messi already has smog levels of money. And whatever Inter Miami or even Apple could offer still wouldn't hold a candle to what the Saudis could. So Jorge Mas
Yeah, what?
still had a little bit of convincing to do. And reportedly, during his final pitch, he would sell the Messi clan on Miami and America. One of those points being, Miami is only a 9-hour flight to Buenos Aires, Argentina. And you compare that to
Really?
the 13 half hours it would take from Barcelona to Buenos Aires, and then the 20 hours it would have been from Riyadh. Well, yeah, it's no contest. If Messi ever wanted to visit family, he'd be there in less than half a day. It also doesn't hurt that Miami is quite culturally diverse, with a rich and historic Latin American
There's a lot of
community
Spanish
built into
here.
its DNA. And remember when Messi and his dad got into a little
Especially
bit of trouble
there.
in Spain for tax evasion? Well, that
That's
won't
why he
be an
doesn't
issue
speak
here,
English.
because Miami is in Florida. No income tax, baby! It was as if Miami was custom built just for Messi. But ultimately, the main pitch was the same for Messi as it was for Pele and Beckham before him. Jorge laid it out, what Pele coming to America had done for the sport in the United States, how Beckham had taken it to yet another level in 2007. And now, with Lionel Messi 5 months fresh off of winning a World Cup, still one of the best players in the world, his introduction to America could take the sport to another stratosphere. Simply, America offered him something that Europe or the Middle East couldn't, the chance to win over one of the biggest sports markets in the world that has never been truly conquered by a soccer player. Jorge said to Messi's father, "How many times in a lifetime do you get the opportunity to change a sport? There will be a before Messi and after Messi in America." And that was enough to convince him, as Messi would go on to shock the world by announcing that he would be taking his talents to South Beach. And what's crazy was this even came as a shock to Inter Miami, as apparently when Messi made this announcement, they had no official contract worked out. Inter Miami actually had to send out a public statement saying that even though they were pleased to hear of Messi's intentions of joining Miami, they still had no formal agreement. In the days that followed after the announcement, Messi would hold an interview with Spanish media, where it revealed that it came down to 2 clubs, Inter Miami and his beloved Barcelona. And he said, given the right circumstances, he wanted it to be Barcelona. But given the unceremonious way that he was treated while he exited the club, the way some at the club tried to smear his character in the press, and the financial issues that made it impossible for them to register him in La Liga, financial issues that still haven't really improved since he left, well, it made his decision clear. Messi said on the situation that he could never put himself or his family in a situation again where their fate will be left in someone else's hands. And just like that, the greatest player the world's game has ever seen joined a last place team in the MLS.
That's
Wood
insane.
Iron out all the details of the
Well,
contract.
they're
Shortly
brand new
after,
club though. They're brand
Messi
new.
was seen buying Captain Crunch at a Florida Publix. As of this video, the future is uncertain. As mentioned, he is joining an Inter Miami team whose roster is dog shit. But it's funny how history has a way of repeating itself, or at least rhyming. When Pele joined the Cosmos, he famously described them as a university team. The LA Galaxy struggled mightily in Beckham's first couple seasons. So I wouldn't expect silverware for Inter Miami anytime soon, despite
Team Tommy.
Messi's accolades and abilities.
Guess who won the
But
MLS
the
championship?
cavalry is already on the way. Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba are gonna be
Columbus
signed for
Crew.
Miami, with the biter Luis Suarez expressing interest as well. And there's been a couple of whispers that even Neymar might be tempted to reunite MSN in South Beach. Now, I have no clue how they can sign on.
Nah,
Suarez
nah, nah.
as the
I could
MLS
1000%.
only allows 3 players per.
Bro, I could 1000% see Neymar coming here, bro, and going to Miami, bro. I could for sure see that. I can't lie. I can't ever see somebody coming over here to coming to Columbus. I can't lie, bro. It's kind of dingy. But even like if you go to the Crew Stadium, I mean, granted the Crew games are kind of lit, but like, bro, it's kind of beat up. Bro, like the Crew Stadium is right by the hood, bro. Like, bro, you literally you go, so like there's Crew Stadium, and 5 minutes before you get to, so like me personally, I'm coming from like the northwestern / north part of Columbus, bro. If you come down, bro, and if you head to the Columbus Crew Stadium, bro, from where I'm from, bro, you have to go through the, well, I guess like you're on the highway, but like, bro, like the ghetto is 5 minutes from there, bro. Like it is, bro. It's ghetto, bro. It's ghetto, bro. It's so ghetto. It's so ghetto. But I will say this though, the Crew Stadium's really not that bad. We have a brand new stadium, I'm pretty sure. And I like our uniforms. I mean, granted, it's almost the exact same. We just got yellow. But like, I mean, honestly, the Crew's really not that bad either. But like, I don't see somebody like a Messi or somebody like a Neymar, somebody like, bro, I don't see anyone that's like crazy big name coming down to Columbus, Ohio, unless they just come. I mean, granted, I can't lie, bro. Like around campus, like Ohio State, or like even like in the suburbs. So like I'm from Dublin, here in Dublin, Hilliard, New Albany, bro. There's always places that are putting a whole bunch of money into the city, but like, bro, just around where the stadium is, bro, they would have to do some renovations and stuff like around like there, like to make it like more enticing. Cause like, bro, and I can't lie, bro, there's like nothing to do. If you're an alcoholic, bro, or you just like to do drugs, then okay, come to Columbus. But like, if you don't do that stuff, like, bro, there's nothing to do here, bro. There's really not. Why do you think I'm a YouTuber? No, I'm joking. but like, brother, it's kind of boring in Ohio. Can't cap. Now, granted, I am from here, so nah, bro. I know people from Florida, proud to be from Florida. Well, I mean, I can't say I'm not proud to be from Ohio, but like, bro, like it's kind of corny here. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I feel like you gotta be from Ohio. Everybody that's from Ohio wants to leave Ohio, bro. People that I'm looking at, people from Chicago, people from Miami, people from even like Orlando, people from Texas, Dallas, people from California, bro. They love to be like, bro, I love home. Like I'm trying to be here forever. Now, granted, people do move away, but like, nah. But I would say 90% of people here. Now, granted, me personally, bro, I know I'm blessed to be where I'm at, but that's because I've lived in other cities and I've traveled a little bit. So like I know Columbus, like all in all, if I'm chilling, like if I'm not trying to like just go out and like do certain things, bro, Columbus is clutch. Like we have a whole bunch of super centers. The food here is good. Like, bro, it's nice. It's nice. But like, if we're talking about weather, other people, things to do like outside, it's kind of dead, bro. Columbus kind of dead, but teach their own.
team to not count against the salary cap, but I'm sure the MLS can change that rule. They'd be dumb not to. Hell, pull Iniesta and PK out of retirement. Why not? Oh my god, as I'm finishing up writing this, reports have surfaced that Iniesta is signing with Inter Miami on a free. I don't know what witchcraft Jorge Mas and Apple cast on the Messi clan, but brother, this is gonna be fucking awesome. They have gone full Barcelona rebuild, and I love it. Consider my tickets bought when he comes to New York. See me at the game. And as I'm finishing up this video, Messi has made his MLS debut. What does he go and do? No, not a halfway volley, but an equally stunning 93rd minute free kick to win the game. And then he goes on and scores a brace before halftime in the first game that he captains. Stop. Stop it. I get it. I can see why all the Ronaldo fanboys claim that this is scripted as fuck. Because how much more of a storybook year can one man have? Messi Mania is here. It has hit the States.
Bro, they
It's
didn't
almost as
win.
hot as Arizona is right now. But only time will tell.
They won a couple games, bro, and then he was
It's even the level of
hurt
baseball
for a grip
in this
too.
country. So what does the future hold? If history has taught us anything, I think the MLS title will elude him for a year or two. But once he
Not
finishes
gonna
up
hate,
his
bro.
Barca rebuild, it's only a matter of time before he conquers the MLS. But can he conquer America? Can he take soccer even to the heights of hockey by the time he leaves? I doubt it. But that's the thing. I'm just a fucking YouTuber. He's leaning on Messi. And he's always had a certain way of proving the doubters wrong. And that is going to be it for my history on all these soccer
Why was
greats
everybody always
coming
grabbing
to
Messi's head?
America. Thank you guys all for watching. If you did enjoy, smush your hard wreck nipples into the like button right now. Helps me infinitely in this godforsaken algorithm. Thank you to Lewis, the homie, for editing this video. And of course, shout out to all my patrons. Keep me alive and well and keeping these videos.
Oh, are these
I'd like to give a
patrons?
personal thank you to Chris Hu, Fritz, and John Petrick for being my goat-tier patrons. And yeah, that's going to be it for me, the Fat Asian. Until next time, boys.
Fat Asian, who are all these people you just put in the credits? All right, hold on. We're not watching that deep. Damn, maybe we have to. Thanks for... Yeah, it is. It is. It says it right there. It's like, dude, I was like, no way that many people worked on his video, bro. I love Fat Asian. He always teaches me some stuff. I hope you learned something, Team Tommy. Nah, I can't lie. Bro, who do you guys think would come here, bro? I don't think anybody would, bro. If they want money, bro, they're going to Saudi, bro. Nobody's coming to Columbus, bro. Chicago has a team. Let's look at the MLS standings, actually. We have an Eastern and Western Conference. That's dumb. Philadelphia. Damn, we playing like, well, I guess we're not that many games into it. I know our season like runs different than the European. But like I'm confused, like I mean, obviously you're getting paid and this is a professional league. But bro, we can't even really earn any trophies, bro. Like we don't get to play in the Champions League. We don't get to play in... What's the point of playing here? Bro, so just everybody has 3 and 4 losses? I'm confused. All right, let's look at who's on our team. I know Hernandez. Bro, this team is mid, bro. I don't know how we won. This team is mid. Bro, if Inter Miami doesn't just... The fact that they're not undefeated is insane to me, bro. don't even got Messi on here. Where's he at? But if you have these three players, I was about to throw him in there, but he's not the one that I thought of. Actually, yeah, he's not the same dude that I thought he was. But like, bro, if you have these three players, I don't care how old they are, you should be undefeated. New York doesn't have anybody. But New York is New York, so New York will get people to come because it's New York. Yeah, nobody on Philly. Boring ass league, bro. It's a boring league. But I didn't realize how big Ohio is until like I started comparing it to like other countries. Like yeah, countries. That's actually crazy you can say that. I mean, and even our cities, like we could low key become our own country if we really wanted to. I mean, obviously, like we're not going to, but like if the United States was to like be like the way Europe is, Ohio would be a country, like alone by itself. You would have to take like here, let me go to, and then we're gonna look at the what's it called, Saudi League. This is how it would work out. If we come in here, you guys can't really see the names. You guys want this one? This one's easier to see names. Kind of like this one more though. All right, so if we come in here, California would be its own country, for sure. Texas would be its own country, for sure. Ohio would be its own country, for sure. Florida would be its own country, for sure. You would have to take, okay, New York might be its own country, but I'm kind of thinking New York would rat all of this and they would just make this whole thing New York, if you know what I'm saying. I think that this whole thing would be a country. Just one country together. Now, granted, this is part of like the first states that were like made here. But like I think this whole thing would be a country unless we kind of like start doing like what it looks like by like the edge of like Russia and like how they got just a whole bunch of small countries right there. But even like so, I would think Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana would be one country. South Carolina, all the way you wrap around here to Virginia, come under, wrap around Kentucky, wrap around Tennessee, that'd be a country. Pennsylvania, you would grab West Virginia and then come around here and do it like that. That would be a country. It'd be like an odd shaped country, but that's how it'd be. Michigan can arguably be its own country, arguably, because it has this little extra tip up here. If it didn't have that tip, we wouldn't even be discussing that. This would be a country. It would go Oregon, Idaho, and then you would come up here, scoop Montana, or you can cut Montana in half and just have it like this. Nevada might be its own country, can't lie, just because of Las Vegas, and that's literally the only reason. If it's not because of that, you would grab this and go around Arizona, around New Mexico, around Colorado, and hook it like that and make these 5 states. You make these 5 states one country. You would call this New Neverado Zona. Alaska would be its own country. Now, bro, you guys gotta also understand this is not like the actual size of states. This is not the actual size of states. This is not the actual size of states. Like if we look at the states in like an actual, it's different. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. That's why you guys were trying. You guys are probably looking at me crazy. Like, what do you mean Ohio? What do you mean Texas? What do you mean California? But look how big California is. Look how big Texas is. Look how big Ohio is. New York is big, bro, and these places are small. That's why I'm saying you can combine all of those places and make them into one country, if you know what I'm saying, bro. Because I look at these, bro. You would have to make this into one country, bro. We just make stuff look, bro. It's propaganda. It's all propaganda as to why we make certain things bigger than what it is. Have you guys ever seen the actual world map? Bro, it's baffling. Africa is real size. USA is small. Canada, I don't know who boasted you guys up to be that big. You guys are very small. Mexico, about the same size. South America, about the same size. Russia, you're little. But it's like it's kind of like almost, bro, even Antarctica. That's insane. Australia, you guys are probably the only white country that is keeping it 1,000. Everyone else, bro. Everyone else. Africa, the Middle East. Bro, look at Europe. Bro, everybody is getting lied on. But then we come up here and like Team Tommy, bro, you guys know I'm not racist, bro. I love white people. I love Europeans. I guess Australians don't really count in this, although I love Australians. My cousin's Australian. But listen, Americans, Europeans, and Russians, you guys are bullshitting the world, bro. This is like, this is, bro, propaganda, bro. Propaganda. Like, this is not what it, bro. Even Greenland. Why would Greenland even, bro? It's propaganda, bro. Let's look at, but it's actually crazy they're doing this without Neymar. But don't they have what's the name? Benzema, don't they? No, Benzema's on. Dude, this is insane. They're doing this with this team. I know him. I know Malcolm. I know Savage. Ruben Neves. I didn't know Ruben Neves was on this team, to be completely honest. I thought he was on Etihad with Benzema. Koulibaly. Bro, Neymar doesn't play. I guess that's a decent team, though. That's an okay team. Number 5. Really? I mean, if we're being honest, bro, they shouldn't be this. They shouldn't be number 5. If we're just being honest. I mean, I guess they're only down by, yeah, they shouldn't be number 5. Who's on this team? I don't even know what this team is called. Nah. Nah. That's crazy. I did not know that. Actually, I did know. I know by the logo. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Dude, this team's actually decent. This team is decent. This team is decent. This team is decent. Bro, if I'm keeping a stack how I would have predicted that it would go. Al Nasser number 1. I mean, you can make an argument they would be number 2, but I would think Etihad would be number 2. Then Hilal, number 3. then them 4, then them 5, and then I don't know the rest of the teams I'm gonna keep it a stack. I really don't. But like this, yeah, insanity, insanity. They're undefeated. Damn. Well, they beat Al Nassr to make it that far, didn't they? What do they call it? The score table? They did. They did. So, I mean, no, I was watching the way this went down, though. Al Nassr got finesse. This shouldn't even be a competition, bro. This should have been 5-0. 5-0. Average rating. Bro, they just be giving Ronaldo low scores for nothing. Karim Benzema. They be hating on Ronaldo in this league, but it's okay. They gave him his money. They gave him his paper. Well, Team Tommy, I hope you have a great day today. We learned a good bit. Honestly, bro, I didn't know that many people came to America from Europe and even from Brazil. But you learn something new every day. Why is that even a thing right here? Bro, like, why is that even a thing? And why is Taiwan? Okay, United Kingdom's right there. Bro, Bing, you're weird sometimes, bro. I'll keep that a stack. You're weird sometimes. Damn, so if people from other countries, this is what you look at. Central Park, Empire State Building, 9/11 Memorial, Inside Job, Antelope Canyon, Grand Canyon. Okay, I can see the Grand Canyon for sure. I can see the Grand Canyon and Disneyland. Okay, no. These, yeah. Okay, I can't lie. These are some good places to visit. These are actually some good places to visit. The Las Vegas Strip. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Why would you go to Alcatraz? Like, bro, oh my gosh. But there's some things that I see that is just like, bro, why do you guys promote certain stuff? But, you know, I'm not the president. If I was the president, a lot of laws would be different. A lot of laws would be different. Anyone that's being a public nuisance, you are sentenced to 1 year in jail minimum, depending on what type of nuisance you are. If you're just walking down the street being weird, okay, you get 1 year. But if you're like doing like, if you're aggravating people, and if you're like, we'll get into that another time. I'll tell you guys what I would do as a president in another video. But I hope you have a great rest of your day, Team Tommy. Love, peace, and chicken grease.